When inflation hits 4.2%, the instinct is to look at government spending, interest rates, or corporate profit margins. But to see exactly how those macroeconomic pressures actually drain your wallet, you only need to look at your local gas pump. A sudden, sharp pain at the pump is a recurring structural weakness in the economy. When crude oil prices spiked in the 1970s, it didn't take long for stations to cap purchases, strictly limiting how much purchasing power a consumer had on the road. To understand why everyday groceries and household goods are suddenly so expensive today, we have to look past the total money supply and track the physical barrels of oil. That 4.2% inflation figure is a measurement of a chain reaction. A spike in energy costs acts as an invisible tax that silently infects every layer of the global supply chain. Let's track a single loaf of bread from dirt to dinner table.
Extracting millions of tons of raw wheat from the earth demands heavy machinery. That requires an enormous, constant burn of diesel fuel just to keep the combine harvesters moving through the fields. Getting that grain across an ocean introduces the next massive logistical hurdle. International shipping relies entirely on enormous cargo vessels burning heavy bunker fuel. As the wheat moves from the tractor to the cargo ship, logistics companies cannot simply choose to stop buying fuel when prices spike. They have to consume it to survive. That compounded cost is pushed directly into the baseline price of the grain. Those industrial fuel costs lock in a high baseline price for the raw materials before manufacturing or baking even begins. Before the ingredients even touch the continent where they will be sold, their value is already artificially inflated by the volatility of global energy markets. Once processed goods reach a coastal port, they must move inland to regional distribution centers. That domestic journey relies on an endless fleet of semi-trucks, consuming millions of gallons of diesel to physically drag inventory across the country. Take a look at this chart breaking down the operational costs of a standard truck route. If diesel prices suddenly spike 20%, that red fuel segment expands upward, completely crushing the logistics company's standard 5% profit margin until it disappears entirely. To avoid immediate bankruptcy, the freight operator has no choice but to issue emergency fuel surcharges. When the delivery arrives, the retail store is hit with that inflated freight invoice, forcing them to absorb the shipping loss on the back end. To keep their own doors open, the retailer crosses out the old price tag on the shelf and writes in a higher number. The price you pay at the register is the final bill for a thousands of miles long chain of mandatory, unavoidable fuel purchases. That initial 4.2% inflation statistic is a symptom of an underlying energy crisis. History has already run this experiment. During the oil shocks of the 1970s, constrained fuel supply paralyzed commercial activity, proving that as fuel goes, so goes the economy. As long as global petroleum markets remain highly volatile and gas prices stay elevated, the baseline cost of living cannot drop. There are no cheap goods without cheap gas. Every receipt you carry out of a grocery store is in reality a gas receipt in disguise.